What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode 96 of Chillin with Dylan, which is me, if you didn't know by now. I hope you've all been having a wonderful, marvelously fantastic, and dopalicious, lovely day. I know I have. Hasn't been too eventful, really, because I've just been working, but I've been feeling a little more free today, a little more, untethered, I guess. And it's like, because I started like, when I go to bed, like, I allow myself to just clear the day out and just use my imagination, to, just put myself in a good state of mind before sleep. And I've noticed that it just like sets the tone for the next day. I've been like really, and it's more like just contemplating on lovely things before bed. It's not really like fantasizing and stuff. It's just just like contemplating on like whatever I think is lovely in this world, and like lovely about myself and lovely about everything around me. And like I'll imagine like people, if somebody was saying like that they were having some trouble or something in their life, like I'll imagine them being like, oh dude, like good news, like this problem solved, things of that nature. And so this morning I woke up and I don't know, dude, it was like the first time in like a little bit where I woke up and I just felt like, I was tired and I was like, I gotta go to work, but it was like, that didn't really matter, really. I was just like, you know what, dude, like, all these things are happening. I remember somebody once telling me that, like, just because you don't like the rain doesn't mean it's not gonna happen. So, I don't know, like all day today it was really like I've just been going more and more and more inward every single day, and going within for my fulfillment and my happiness and my love and my peace. And dude, I don't know, like I just feel like I finally really got to let go today, let go of it's like I said, I've had this there's like this person that I was kind of like, I guess, like hung up on, and I feel like I was finally able to just like let go and let things be, and I understood finally that like hold up, my apologies, my friends, somebody came into the front desk and I just didn't want to keep shooting this video with someone in here. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, I feel like I was finally able to just like let this whole thing go and just let it be, let things be, whatever. Because I understand how I was like, I fell into like this state of mind where I felt like my love had to be outsourced. I felt like I had to meet this requirement, this condition of like, I don't know, being with somebody or being in a relationship or whatever, in order to be loved, to feel loved, and to feel good about myself and all this and all that. And I'm just realizing like how bullshit that actually is. I finally understand now that our true desires are not things or objects or people or anything. They are a state of mind, a state of being. Like, being is the final goal. And so, like in reality, if you think that you want like a relationship or a partner, you actually just want to be loved. And what I've been like contemplating on has led me to understand that you don't need that in order to feel loved. And I see now how it's like what I always thought that I wanted from other people was actually just something that I needed to start giving myself. And so I feel like I was just able to let go of this whole nonsense thing, because I never truly wanted a relationship or whatever. Like, I just always wanted to feel like loved. I want to feel like I am, like wanted and loved and adored and all this stuff. And the closer I looked at it, the more I understood that, like, I just have never given it to myself. And that was where all this suffering and shit came from. And, in the confusion of thinking that, like, this love and this, all these things, this peace, this joy, this happiness, like, in confusing it for something outside of myself, that's where the suffering came from. Because, I would abandon myself to pursue these things and people outside of me. And I thought that that's where my love is. That's where my peace is. And it's like, I had this, like, condition in my mind where, I felt like I had to meet that requirement in order to feel that way. But now I see I can just feel that way. I could just be that way. I could just give that shit to myself. And, dude, it feels so good. Like, I feel so free because it's like, I don't need anything. I don't need to be a certain way and, like, bend over backwards. Because, I feel like I'd get attached to, like, a person because, again, I'd think the love that I was seeking was in that person, and it would come from that person. And, like, I would just do anything that I could to make it work so that I could feel that. And, like, I'd end up, like, changing up on myself and being somebody that I'm not in order to, make this, like, relationship or whatever work so that I could feel that way. And I see now how that is, like, truly selfish. Just, like, expecting someone else to come along and, like, give me that feeling or whatever, while not giving it to myself. And, I feel free from that now. I feel like it's just like, dude, just love yourself, bro. Love yourself. And it just feels like it's inevitable now that, like, something is gonna end up working out. Like, I'm gonna end up with a person that's perfect for me, because if I'm loving myself, if we're all loving ourselves, like, you're just gonna be authentically you and genuinely you, and, like, with all of your ups and downs and lefts and rights and mistakes and successes. Like, if you love yourself, you're gonna be just your true self. No faking it, no nothing. Like, just authentic and here and now, exactly as you are, and not trying to uphold some false identity. And when you're truly being yourself, like, all the people that come into your life and are like, oh, I like this guy, like, they're there for you. They're there actually for you. And that's something that you can just you can uphold that forever because it's true. It's just who you truly are, and there you don't have to work to be that person. You don't have to try to be that person because it's just who you are. And so like in letting go of this like external thing, this person, I freed myself inside. And with the freedom inside comes so much, dude. Like, I can just sense it already that this is like an amazing decision. And I see how like I was put through all of these situations in order to get to this point where I'm at. And I know that this feeling is going to expand. But, I really hope that this resonates with somebody else out there because, I put myself through a lot of suffering and a lot of bullshit for what I thought I wanted. But, if you really truly sit with your desire, what you think you want, you'll start to understand what you know you want. And what you truly, truly want is just a state of mind, a state of being, a feeling. It's not a thing or an object or a person or some position at a job, any of that. You may think it is, but look deeper into it. Like, really, like, contemplate on your desires, and you'll start to understand, like, it's not really the thing that I want. It's something of the spirit, something from within that I have been withholding from myself. Like in this case, like love, I've just withheld it from myself, always thinking that I'm not good enough and I have to be better to make this person love me so that I can finally feel that love. But when you truly look at it, it's like any love that you've ever experienced in your life has been your own love. Like that feeling of love comes from inside, and same with any feeling of hate, that's coming from within. The only thing you're ever experiencing is your own point of view and your own feelings and your own presence. Like, you think that something on the outside makes you feel a certain way, but really it doesn't. Like, even when it comes to insecurities or anything, like, if you think somebody is judging you, it's really like, they're just doing their thing. They're just a person living their life, and they interact with you however they interact with you, but you see it as judgment. And what that really is you are judging yourself, and the way that person acted, like, just like triggered this like judgment in you, and then you project it onto them. Like, nobody's really attacking you ever. No one's ever really doing anything to you. It's all coming from within. I hope that makes sense, because if it does, when it makes sense, dude, like, it changes the whole thing, because you realize that the only thing that's really important is your own things that you're generating inside and what you're focusing on within yourself. That's what's truly important, because that's what paints your whole experience. That's what sets the tone of everything in your life. Is, we're constantly just projecting our innermost convictions about ourselves onto the world. Like, somebody looks at you wrong and it makes you feel a certain way. It's not really like that made you feel a certain way. It's like you already felt that insecurity or that whatever it is, and now you're saying like, oh, it's this thing that makes me feel that way. It's the way this person looked at me is why I feel like this. But it's not really. It's not. It's never the other thing. Like, the way you see things is solely up to you. Your perception is your own creation. No one else put it there. You know, maybe you accepted beliefs and ideas from people in the past, but at the end of the day, you accepted those beliefs and everything, and created this perception, this filter of reality, and you know, now that's how you're operating in the world. You know, it's just the more that I focus on, you know, just leaving the world alone, leaving everything alone just as it is, and I change how I feel inside, the more I realize that, like, I'm living in a perfect world. And the only thing that ever really needed to change was my own point of view, my own thinking, my own beliefs, my own perception of myself. You know, I look at anytime I've felt like inadequate or not enough or anything, it never truly was because of anything else. It was what I was bringing to the present moment and projecting onto whatever it is that I'm experiencing. And so, you know, dude, please do yourself a favor and put your focus within. Put it within, because you'll actually make progress and feel good in your life. And you'll realize that, like, shit, man, like, I can just summon up, like, anytime I'm desiring love, like, I can just make it myself. I don't need to wait around for it. I don't need to go to something else for it, or ask permission, or jump through all these hoops and meet these conditions in order to feel it. No, it's something that's forever in me and cannot be taken away ever, unless I take it from myself. But even then, I could just give it back. You know, the only time we're not experiencing things is when we believe that we don't have it. You know, abundance, love, joy, happiness, peace, fulfillment. You know, all these things, they are states of mind that exist in you, and everything in you is rightfully yours. But again, we make these conditions up in our mind to where we start thinking that, like, oh, in order to feel wealthy even, you know, you don't need $1 million to feel wealthy. You can feel wealthy with $100 in your pocket or $10 in your pocket. You know, it all depends on how you're going to interpret the situation and how you're going to view what's in front of you and who you think you are. You know, if you keep identifying with this body and this outward thing, of course you're always going to feel limited. But if you start to identify yourself as the awareness in this body, this awareness that can see anything, you know, close your eyes. You can imagine whatever the fuck you want. If you start to identify yourself as that being within that can experience whatever they want at any time and conjure up any feeling at all, you're just going to start to feel free and like you don't need anything, because you don't. You have it all within. Yeah, that's how my day went. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you gained something from it. I can't wait to keep exploring this way of life. But until tomorrow, peace out, dudes. Much love.